All right, welcome to day one of the Soft Skills Mastery Program. Let's talk about adaptability. You ever have one of those days at work where it feels like the ground is just constantly shifting under you? One minute, you know exactly what you're doing, and the next, bam, a project scope changes, a deadline gets moved up, or a totally new priority just lands on your desk. Yeah, you're definitely not alone. The thing is, in today's world, adaptability isn't just some nice-to-have soft skill anymore. Honestly, it's a survival skill. And today, we're going to show you exactly how to master it.
Just think about it for a second. The most successful people you know in any industry, they're the ones who can pivot on a dime, right? They can learn new things quickly and just thrive when things get uncertain. They see change not as this big, scary threat, but as a real chance to grow. And that is the power of adaptability. It's really what separates the good from the great. It's the #1 driver of your career growth, bar none.
Okay, so how do you actually get better at this? How do you become more adaptable? A lot of people think it means being a pushover or just, going with the flow no matter what. But that's not it at all. It's about being intentional. It's about choosing how you respond to change instead of just reacting on instinct. And that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. A real, solid framework for shaping your professional behavior. So here's our focus for today. We're going to break this down into 3 simple parts. First up, we'll look at the common challenges, those roadblocks that really get in the way of being adaptable. Then, we'll get into the core principles of effective performance, the stuff all highly adaptable people have in common. And finally, and this is the best part, we'll apply some structured methods that high-performing teams use so you can walk away with a real game plan. And what's the goal here? It's pretty simple, really. The whole point is for you to be able to operate with way more clarity, confidence, and strategic intent. By the time we're done here, you'll have a clear roadmap. You'll know how to stay calm when the pressure's on, how to think on your feet, and how to turn pretty much any challenge into a real opportunity. All right, let's put this into practice. Let's look at adaptability in action with a real-world scenario. I want you to imagine this. You're a project manager. You've just found out your biggest client has totally changed their mind on a key feature. The deadline? It's looming. Your team? They're stressed. And you? You are feeling the pressure. So what do? Okay, this is where the difference really shows. A high performer, they don't see this as a total crisis. They see it as a puzzle that needs solving. And they use a simple 3-step process to turn all that chaos into clarity. First, structured thinking. They break the problem down into manageable pieces. Second, emotional control. They stay calm and centered. And third, deliberate action. They move forward with purpose. It's a really powerful sequence that works in pretty much any high-pressure situation. And listen, this isn't just some hypothetical scenario, right? This kind of thing happens all the time. It's the reality of modern work. But here's the good news. You don't need to be some kind of superhero to handle this stuff like a pro. By the end of our time today, you are going to have the tools and the confidence to face these challenges head-on. Okay, now it's your turn to do a little work. Because all this theory is great, but progress, that happens in the practice. So we're going to take just 5 minutes for a quick reflection. This is where we go from insight to action. This is where you start turning what you've just heard into a real usable skill. So here's the question I want you to think about. Reflect on one recent moment where stronger adaptability would have improved your results. Just think back to a time pretty recently where you felt overwhelmed, or maybe frustrated, or just plain stuck. Could have been a tough conversation, a project that went sideways, whatever it was. Pinpoint that one moment where looking back, that being a bit more adaptable would have really changed the outcome. Okay, so go ahead and grab something to write with or just open a doc on your computer. I want you to jot down the answers to 3 simple questions. Number 1, what happened? Just describe the situation. Number 2, what did you feel? Be honest here, no judgment. And number 3, the most important one, how would you respond now? Using that framework we just talked about, think, control, act. What would be your new strategy? All right, let's wrap up with the key takeaways from day 1. First, and this is huge, adaptability directly impacts your performance and your growth. It's not optional anymore. Second, you now have a structured response for when things get tough. Think, control, act. That little sequence is your key to creating stability. And third, that personal reflection you just did, that's how you turn an idea into a real capability. You've already started the work. And remember, this is just day 1. It's only the beginning. If you're ready to keep building on this and take your professional skills to the next level, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss day 2 of our 100-day series. We've got so much more to cover. I'm looking forward to seeing you there.